Hi, everybody. My name is Mr. Dupa. That right there is Adam Obeses Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And that other guy is Drunk Dave Romero.
What do you want?
Yes.
Want to fight about it?
Tonight's brew is the Cigar City Brewing Company. Once again, this is the Maduro Brown Ale.
Maduro.
Yeah, say it with some.
Can you say it with
zest.
No.
spirit in there?
Don't make me
spice.
get racist.
I'm sorry, no one's making you get racist.
I said don't make me get racist. I'm not giving it any spice or any kind of... Nope. Maduro. Maduro. M-A-D-U-R-O. It's a brown ale. It looks pretty good. We're going to taste it. This is the One Beer In Podcast.
What do you mean brown ale? Let us taste.
I taste the toffee.
Let's taste it.
Let's see. It contains hints of caramel, toffee, chocolate, espresso.
I believe it.
Yeah, I can taste all of that.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty good. A great food beer. Pairs equally well with sweet chocolate-based desserts as it does with roasted meat.
Mm.
Do we have any roasted meat just lying around?
Let's roast meat.
I want all of that.
We'll be right back.
And chocolate.
After we roast this meat.
And put chocolate on it.
It's not even a type of meat. It's just meat. Labeled meat.
This is roasted meat. I'm a fan. I give it a 4.5. 4.5 out of 6.
I agree with that. 4.5.
4.5, yeah. All around 4.5.
Right on.
Here.
Good job, Cigar City. You're still on top.
I wouldn't say on top. Well, I mean, they're still good.
They're good. I mean, they're
on the upper tier.
They're very solid so far.
Yeah. A very solid beer.
If you keep your average above 4.
Actually, we shit on them before.
Did we?
With the party bus keg.
Oh. I don't really count that.
Did they make that?
Yes.
Yes, they did make that. You're right.
Because we looked at it and we're like, this is bull. Actually, you shit on it because it was so expensive and it was so bland.
Right. It wasn't really that it tasted so bad as much as I felt cheated.
Right.
Your main brand is still good.
Right. I don't really count that brew bus, whatever, garbage with Cigar City proper. So
Proper.
City proper.
Mike, where are we going with this?
We're going right here. Today's episode is episode 9. I guess to wrap that up, 4.5 out of 6 for the Maduro.
It's about a 13.5 total.
Totally.
Out of an 18.
It's pretty good.
That's
good
math.
job. You did math. I'm proud of you. Like I said, it's
Word.
episode 9. I guess let's just jump right in with the biggest. I guess not really the biggest news story, but definitely something that's been brewing.
You did that joke already.
Yeah, you've done that.
Sorry, I apologize.
Keep it going.
That's my bad. News that Zack Snyder, director extraordinaire.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm going to call him extraordinaire because it's funny to me.
All right. Ironically?
Yes.
It's sarcastically extraordinary.
Come on, we've talked about Zack Snyder before.
Yeah.
He doesn't get props around these parts.
Director.
Except for making, dumb action movies that are just way too serious.
Go into who Zack Snyder is, what he's directed.
Right.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
300 is one of his biggest movies.
Right. Remake of Dawn of the Dead was
Watchmen.
one of his first.
That was his. I guess you call that his
breakout.
Yeah. 300, The Watchmen.
Sucker Punch.
Ooh.
Right. They've all they've all got the same kind of aesthetic and the same look and feel to them.
One of you said it's pretty much just a long music video.
Yep.
I think that was him.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of his movies are just that.
Right. And that's pretty much what they are. And then he directed Man of Steel. I don't know how you guys feel about Man of Steel.
Well, that was probably his biggest movie to date, right?
Still haven't seen it.
Really?
You haven't seen it?
Really?
I don't care to see it.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Not a Superman fan?
No.
All right. You're more of a Batman guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
But still.
Yeah, you should at least watch
you just
it.
gotta watch it.
It's
just gotta watch it.
Gotta
watch it.
Oh, wow.
Wow. You just gotta sit down and just watch it.
Yeah.
Mm.
I would watch it just because.
I won't. Why? Because you like the way Superman looks?
Yeah.
He's a hunk.
He's a hunk.
That is a man right there.
And that's probably why I won't see it. I'm
intimidated. It's a fucking superhero movie. Why wouldn't you at least check it out? I watched Green Lantern and I knew what I knew. I watched it after I knew how bad it was.
Have you seen Green Hornet?
Yes, I have.
Have you seen every superhero movie?
I've tried to watch them all. Yeah,
as
many as I can get my hand. Well, except for Thor.
Thor 2.
Thor 2.
Thor,
yeah. I still need to watch that.
What was the other Marvel movie you haven't seen that I was spoiling for you? There were 2.
You sure it was a Marvel movie?
I don't think it was a Marvel movie.
I think it was just another movie.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a Marvel movie.
Are you sure?
Because I've seen them all except for Thor.
It was one that I was asking you about before that I was going to rent for us to watch. Remember?
Right.
I saw it.
You saw it.
It was one of the few movies I saw that you guys haven't seen.
Right.
This is pointless. this is
true.
Well, it's bothering all of us.
Right.
Yeah, let's figure that out.
Hold up. Wolverine.
Yep.
That's the one.
Yeah. So those 2.
Anyway.
Where were we going? Oh yeah, Zack Snyder.
Right. Well, let's talk a little bit about Superman. That movie I found personally was like really cool.
Not right. So you were disinterested, so you don't care if we talk about it.
Right.
I'm not playing on
Superman movie. What twists could it have?
I'm not.
It's funny that you say that because there is a huge twist in the end.
That's true.
As far as the character goes,
I wasn't figuring we had to go there anyway to talk about the movie.
Well,
so
he kind of brought it up now.
I really don't. It's fine. I don't mind.
I mean, yeah, I don't. We don't have to spoil it. It's not.
Yeah, no,
it has nothing. Yeah, it doesn't really change Zack Snyder's influence on the movie.
That's what I'm saying. I was just going to talk broad strokes.
Actually, kind of does.
It was very pretty, obviously, as you'd expect it to be.
A lot of crystals.
Yes, lots of crystals. Explosions.
A lot of blue.
I mean, they level New York. They just
Metropolis
Metropolis. Yeah, I'm sorry. They fucking level it. It's like the entire fucking city. Man.
Right. It's dead.
There's a fight in the end. It's just
at that point. Why wouldn't they want to kill Superman, or why wouldn't
they're probably looking at him like, "What are you doing? Like,
stop!
I get it. You're here to help, but this isn't. This isn't working right. This is billions of dollars of damage. What are you doing?
Batman's better at this.
God damn it!
Yeah. No, but I mean, it was a great visual spectacle, but it was soulless to me. Like, it was, the characters were dull. The dialogue was dull. It was kind of boring at times. The action scenes were awesome. It was really cool to look at, but like, just the character arcs are stupid and nonsensical.
Right. There's no motivation for anything behind any character, She falls in love with him for what?
Because he's Superman and that's what's supposed to happen.
Right.
It's Bella Edward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. There was nothing. There's no chemistry. There's nothing there.
Lex Luthor is bad just because he's bad.
Well, he's not even in it.
That's right. It's General Zod.
General Zod. Yes.
He has motivation though. He was actually the most motivated. He was the best part of the movie.
He was the best character. Yeah, best character in that movie.
The rest of them were just like,
here's the cookie cutter. There you go.
All right. Henry Cavill. He's just a good-looking guy. I mean, physically he was perfectly cast.
Yeah.
But as an actor,
he looks good as Superman.
Right.
But they didn't give him enough to work with. The dialogue was very dead. That's the only way.
A handsome dumb guy.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Maybe once they cast him, they were like, fuck, what are we gonna do with him?
This guy can't act.
He looks perfect. I mean, look at him in that suit. He's delicious.
However, we digress.
Right.
The reason we bring that up is to kind of illustrate our concerns over what's happening currently, which is he's working on the sequel to Man of Steel, which is called Superman versus Batman. This is probably common knowledge at this point for anybody who listens to this.
Title?
That's its working title.
well, whatever. It's the title right now.
Yeah.
It is the official title right now. Not the official title. It's the working title, but it is the title that they're going with right now. If you look up any press thing on it, it's officially Superman versus Batman right now.
Yeah. Let's just call it a working title.
Yeah. Anyway, anybody who's listening to this should be aware of this. But now they're first they've cast homegirl from Fast 5.
Yeah.
To be Wonder Woman. She's the bony one in Fast 5. Who's supposed to be? There's a scene where she walks and she's like, "Let a girl do this" or whatever, and she takes off her shirt, and then she's in a bikini.
There's just no curves.
And right, she's just like a fucking plank,
and
she just like, walks over, and he's like, he's sexy, and it's like, that ain't sexy, man. So,
Gal Gadot is her name. Gal Gadot.
Right. Yeah, she's what?
Israeli.
Yeah, Israeli.
Can we play some Gal Gadot?
And then
shut up.
Yeah, seriously. What? And then they just cast.
What happened to Megan Fox being Wonder Woman and the internet making those stupid photoshops?
Nah, they needed somebody to fucking like an MMA fighter, like if Ronda Rousey wasn't so fucking
dyed her hair black and maybe
I don't, but she doesn't fit it to me. In my opinion, she
you
just
don't
doesn't.
Think so?
I don't think so.
You don't think Ronda Rousey with black hair could be Wonder Woman?
No, because she has to be graceful looking too. Right. It's not just a tough chick.
She looks like
what? Hold on, let me
even the pictures that she takes that look good, she still looks like she would beat the shit out of you.
Right. Not to mention, can we get an actress that can act
right
for this? Right. Maybe.
Well, see, that's the thing though. That's not Zack Snyder. He don't give a shit.
He doesn't care. Yeah, that's another point.
It's all about the looks, man. It's all about how it looks.
Right.
But with the casting of Cyborg, I saw that it was a play actor.
Yeah, he's a stage actor.
Right. He's not somebody I'd never even heard of him.
Yeah, if you Google search him, like he doesn't pop up first.
Right.
So
the point is, Zack Snyder is under people's noses creating Justice League at this point. I mean, really, all that's left is Flash and Aquaman, and if you want to count Martian Manhunter,
yeah,
and Green Lantern.
So the guy that is going to be playing Cyborg is Ray Fisher. He's basically unknown. He's a stage actor. He's known as doing plays and stuff like that. So I guess they just found him.
Is he half cyborg?
He's not.
Well, how the hell is he going to play Cyborg then?
It's a conundrum. I don't really know what's going to happen with that.
This guy. He's gonna do a Daniel Day-Lewis thing, man.
It's gonna be crazy.
They're gonna put a lot of robotics in him. That's a good choice. That guy, I could see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a good choice.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, he at least physically looks like him.
I'm very curious as to how all these characters are going to coincide in this movie.
And why are they even being casted? Why are they necessary?
Right, exactly. What is the point?
My main fear is that they are jumping the shark with this, and they're wanting to set up their quote unquote Avengers too early.
Right.
I feel like we need, and I tell you this way back when we heard that it was going to be Batman versus Superman. We need a standalone Batman movie first, I feel, to differentiate it from the Nolan Batmans that we're so in love with at this point, because it's going to be hard to see anybody else doing Batman, frankly, after how well these past 3 Batmans have been.
Yeah.
I think they need to establish that universe first, because they're seeming to cram everything into this one thing because it is.
It's going to be like Smallville. Every time there was like a guest star, and they were like a character that you're supposed to recognize, like Flash or Lex Luthor, or like they would just they would be guest stars on the show, and it was like, no, that character deserves their own TV show. You know, don't fucking just make them a guest star on
and then they did
Superman
later.
Show.
Well, they're doing it with Arrow.
Yeah.
Now, because with Arrow they had the Flash, and now Flash is getting his own separate show.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it took long enough.
I guess so.
It's like, okay, why is DC making TV shows? Marvel's making movies. Marvel's on a much bigger scale. They're not wasting their A-list on TV shows on the CW.
Well, now they're not wasting them, because now they've got a universe set up. So then now they can put them in there, and people actually give a shit now. So when you make a Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show...
You're going to take a TV show and make it into a movie on, like, cable?
Well, the question is, are they going to use that as a concurrent universe? Because they haven't commented on that yet. If Arrow is going to be Green Arrow in the films now, or if they're just going to keep that as its own separate thing,
right?
Its own separate entity. Because, I mean, my guess is that they're going to want bigger name actors with some kind of star power to be in those movie roles.
And Green Arrow is a young adult TV show, you know?
Yeah.
It's not geared towards the kind of people who I think they're gearing these movies toward.
Well, at least one demographic within that, but it doesn't kind of fill that full spectrum that, you know.
I think anything on the fucking CW is not an R-rated film.
Yes.
You know? Well,
I mean, neither is the Superman movie.
Close enough.
Not really. They get on the same level because
No. You think Man of Steel would fit on the CW or something?
Obviously not in that scale, but as far as the violence goes, yeah. Arrow kills people, at least in the first couple seasons or something. But
so you can see Arrow being a movie.
The TV show?
Yeah.
Can I see him being put into a movie?
I could see it being a movie, just not the same demo, you know? I could see, you know, tapping into that Divergent, Twilight, Harry Potter demo, but not people who are trying to see Man of Steel. No, I don't think I don't think that's the same audience.
I guess. I mean, it's all.
I mean, the people who talk about Green Arrow, who I've seen, they don't talk about it in the sense of this is a DC character, this is awesome, blah blah blah. They talk about it in the sense of like this is a cool, hunky, you know, superhero sort of. There's like a bunch of chicks that follow him around who are part of his crew and shit. It's fucking
does he fight crime with them like behind him or something?
They just follow him.
Yeah. Just like quiet down. This is a stealth mission.
Put on your mask.
Anderson, he was like,
what I'm saying is the way that it's talked about and the way that it's seen is seen in a young adult CW light.
Right.
You know, like a teen drama, except for the twist is he's a superhero.
I can't take that serious, though, in a movie.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's the same thing with fucking Smallville. That's the way that it was. I don't think if they tried to make that into a movie, I don't think it would have worked.
Smallville?
Right. I don't think it would have worked. I don't see that guy working as Superman. He works as a teenage guy. There's a teenager with Superman-like powers.
Right.
But I don't see him grown up working as standalone Superman.
Yeah, and I see that, but I think we're also seeing it from the viewpoint of knowing what that looks like only as that young adult TV show with the low budget and, you know, the sort of campy, crappy writing.
That's true.
Like in between that.
So, everybody trying to be Joss Whedon.
Exactly. If they were to build it up to, you know, be a multi-million-dollar spectacle that Superman is, I don't think it would be such a far leap, especially with Arrow, to see it as a spin-off series in the sort of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
You got a lot of confidence in Arrow, man. Maybe I should watch that show. You're fucking...
I'm at the part where it's still really, really campy, but apparently it gets better the farther you get into it.
Are you just hyping it up on your own faith? Like, I hope this gets better?
Nope. I've heard from people that it gets better around season 3-ish.
I don't have that much patience.
Like, you're gonna sit through 2 seasons, maybe 2.5, for it to get good.
Well, I mean, it's not bad. It's campy, like sort of Buffy-ish.
I couldn't even get to season 2 of Parks and Rec because season one just wasn't that funny to me. And I heard that season 2 it gets really good, and I'm just like, I couldn't make it. Yeah. Maybe I should just skip to season 2.
You might as well,
because I can't do it. Season 1 is just not that funny. It's just kind of boring.
Who has a show now? I don't know if I think it's on Comedy Central. I don't know if you've seen it, but we've never talked about it. John Benjamin, voice of Archer.
Yeah.
Has his own like skit comedy.
Well, John Benjamin has a band? Are you talking about that?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
He has his own show now, and you've seen it?
Yeah.
You seen it?
I haven't seen it.
What do you think about
it? I don't know. I like John Benjamin. He's funny, but he kind of...
I think his voice is funny.
Yeah, he reminds me of Dave Attell.
He just reminds me.
It's like a trashy like.
He just reminds me of Archer constantly.
Some of it's funny, but like a lot of it is just being dirty for dirty's sake, you know.
Kind of, yeah. And it's just like I watched the first episode of, I think it was season 1, and there's like a joke that runs through on the season or throughout the episode. Have you seen it where he keeps pushing his producer over the border and he can't come back because he has his passport. So he's in Texas and he pushes him into Mexico and he takes his passport and he runs away. And then like a year later, he comes back to Mexico and the guy's like, he set up his own life again in Mexico. He has a wife and kids. And then he comes back and he's like, hey man, yeah, we're going to go talk to this guy down here, blah, blah, blah. And they're walking through like a jungle and he's like takes his passport again. He pushes him over to the border in Guatemala. And then like another year goes by and then it's John Benjamin has a van again. And he's like, we're getting an exclusive interview with El Manta Blanco, whatever. And anyway, long story short, it turns out to be his producer who started another life in Guatemala as a drug dealer. And it's predictable. You're like, all right, well, it's going to be his producer again. And then at the end of it, you're like, oh, well, he's going to push John Benjamin into, I'm going to be an American, whatever country's below Guatemala. And that's exactly what happens. Yeah. But it's funny. But then there's other skits within it where, like, there's Cash Cab. He's got something called Cash Stall, where he just waits in a bathroom and waits for someone to come in and take a shit. And he goes, hey, sir, would you like to play Cash Stall? And I'm like, the fuck you talking about? He goes, you win $100. And, you know, it's a funny skit because there's actually a guy who gets really pissed off and tries kicking the door in on his stall. And there's other things like he's got a show called You Can't Record Here or You Can't Shoot Here, where he goes places that he can't shoot video. And he waits for them to actually say, you can't shoot here. And then he just flashes like the logo of the TV show on the screen.
That's funny.
So it's pretty funny, but it's just, you can tell it's just him writing the gimmick of his voice is so entertaining.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I try to separate that from the actual show. So like without that, the show's not really that funny.
Yeah.
But it is.
That's kind of his vehicle for all
every time he does anything, he just, I mean,
have you seen what he looks like?
Yeah. He looks nothing.
He's like a dwarf.
Yeah, he's like short, he's like beardy.
His Archer voice. Archer is the perfect embodiment of his voice.
Right.
And then you see what he actually looks like, and it's just like, all right, well, this like 5'5" guy.
But that's
balding man.
That's why I like that's why I'm so interested in voice acting. I think it's fascinating. You know, some of the people that they pick for some of these characters. And then when you see them in real life, you're just like, what?
Right.
That's the fucking guy? That's crazy.
Especially when they can change their voice so much, too. Like, to be different types of people.
Like, Joe DiMaggio is a voice actor for Jake and Bender.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's this big fat guy.
Yeah.
It's huge. And it fits.
Yeah.
You know, it fits. But then there's other people like, I'm spacing on the guy's name, but this guy, he does the voice of Fry and like 1,000 other people.
But don't even like, you don't even have to go that far. Kevin Conroy.
Scrawny,
just sick-looking white guy is the voice of Batman and Bruce Wayne.
He's still my hero.
To go with that, Mark Hamill.
Right.
Mark Hamill, yeah.
His voice acting, I mean, he does, I don't know if you guys watch Regular Show.
Yeah, I've seen a few episodes.
There's a character in there, Skips. He's this big, woolly mammoth. Not woolly mammoth. Wookiee looking.
Yeah.
Like,
he's like a Sasquatch, isn't he?
Yeah. Mark Hamill does his voice. And then he does Joker. They're two totally different voices.
Right.
But, so I think voice acting is...
Yeah, I mean, it's cool when you see, like, who actually plays it. Like, the voice of Tommy Pickles is actually a chick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of kid boys are
I think
women.
Most of them are women.
A good amount, yeah.
Any child. But yeah, it's but that kind of, we've gone way from where we started. So
let's get here?
David, I blame you.
Let's center this conversation back to.
Sorry for giving more content. Whatever.
It's for the people, man. Anyway, so with Arrow, I've heard that it is a better. It gets better as it goes along. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, I see why you wouldn't like it from the outset. Because when I first started watching, I'm like, this is corny.
Yeah.
And not what I'm looking for. But there's something in that campiness that I like.
As far as Zack Snyder and Superman and DC is concerned, is anybody worried about what he's,
No, because it's Zack Snyder, and I
what I'm saying
care.
is,
it's just going to be a nice music video with characters to it.
What I'm saying is, Marvel was made, and the guy that they picked to direct that was Joss Whedon. Right. I mean, you don't get much better than that. The guy that they picked to do a Superman movie has under their noses started creating a Justice League movie. This might be the last time that a studio is gonna back someone to make something like this. You know, they're not just gonna keep fucking doing it.
Like, he's not going, all right, I'm gonna make this good. I'm gonna make it so they'll ask me to come back for a sequel.
Right.
Well, he's just going, I'm gonna go balls to the wall.
Exactly.
DC Justice Friends.
Let's
go.
fucking do it. I don't give a shit.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if he has his way and he casts like Green Lantern and Aquaman and everybody else that he needs to cast.
Do you want to cast it right now?
We could.
Let's cast it.
We definitely could.
Man. Are we just saying that Marvel Universe doesn't exist, or are we keeping that in consideration?
No, we keep that in consideration because this has to compete.
Okay.
So
podcast cast.
Are we going now with Green Lantern first and foremost? Are we going Hal Jordan or are we going the other guy? I forgot his fucking name. The black guy. The black one. Yeah.
We will go Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart. That's his name.
Jon Stewart will be played by. Ooh. No. Can't do him. I was gonna say Michael
B. Jordan. No.
Michael J. White.
Michael J. White.
Michael J. White's my first pick for him
because he's too big. He's too buff. He's
the perfect superhero.
Too kung fu. No. He's too kung fu.
What?
I think that's perfect for that role. Like he's supposed to be pretty big too. Like
he's a superhero. He's gonna be huge.
I would take Michael J. White as Cyborg.
Yeah, that'd be good too.
Nah, you need a more youthful guy. I think Cyborg was a more youthful character. He started off with the Teen Titans in the comic books, not just in the
cartoon.
In the cartoon, he started off in the comic books with the Teen Titans, so he has to be, a more youthful character.
Jaden Smith as
stop it, just stop it.
as he scowls. I'm gonna put up a picture of him doing that.
What?
Life's hard. Why are you so worried, Jaden?
Everybody should just stop going to school. We'll be smarter that way. Anyway, okay, so we're casting Jon Stewart. I guess Wesley Snipes is another. He was another one rumored before he.
He's too old, man.
Too old?
He's too old now. For now, he's too old.
They cast Ben. Well, Ben Affleck's supposed to be an older Batman, so.
Yeah.
I'll go. No, that's stupid. Never mind. Kanye West.
He shot himself down before.
Yeah. Kanye West as Jon Stewart.
No. Idris Elba?
I was gonna say it, but he's too big too.
I think they should be big. The guy should be a big
Idris
guy.
Elba as Martian Manhunter.
That could work.
I was thinking the guy, and I hate to go back to the same guy, but I think he's perfect. He just has the voice. The guy from Low Winter Sun. I cast him as a villain in something else.
Yeah, that's right.
But I just think he would be perfect for Martian Manhunter.
You cast him in season 2 of True Detective.
Right. That's right.
You think he would be a good Martian Manhunter?
I think he would.
We need to find his name.
Probably.
I'm looking up his name.
Right.
He has that perfect voice. I think it'd be good. But let's throw him out.
I want to cast Michael Fassbender as Green Arrow.
Okay.
But he's Magneto.
Yeah, but that's not part of Marvel officially.
Can he cross streams like that?
I think so.
Are we allowed to do that?
Let's go Zach Braff as the Flash.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Really?
That's not bad. It's not.
He'd need to work out for ever.
Yeah.
But,
well, Paul Rudd's gonna be Ant-Man. And he's getting in shape.
Turk is the Green Lantern.
Now we're turning it into a comedy.
We're doing Scrubs.
Scrubs reunion. Oh man, that'd be good.
Okay. Scratch Zach.
Perry Cox as Martian Manhunter.
You know what they should have done? Ryan Reynolds should not have touched anything superhero until he got cast as Flash. In my opinion, he shouldn't have been Deadpool. He shouldn't have been Green Lantern. He should have left him alone until they were ready to do a Flash movie.
Yeah,
him then.
How do actors not know what characters they'd be good at?
I don't know.
Their agents talk them into it.
No,
that money.
Well, he believed in it though. If something came across as, think about it. If you were an actor and fucking movie that you believed in came across your desk, you would look at it like, well, I mean, yeah, I guess it takes a certain sense of self-awareness to say, I can't do this.
Right.
Can I pull this off? Is this good? Can I do a better character in this universe?
Right. I don't think he was good for Green Lantern. I think he was a good choice for Deadpool if they hadn't written it so poorly.
Right, if they did it right.
They didn't ruin it.
Right. He could have done that well. And I think we talked about this before too, but I've read that he really believed in that so much so that he wants to bring it back.
Right.
And he really believed in the character, and he's a huge fan of the character and everything. So that's one thing. But yeah, Green Lantern, he just doesn't fit that. Everything that I've seen of the Green Lantern, I didn't see like, quick jabby type comedic quips and,
Because he's not. He's a Air Force guy. That's his main character thing. And, he's confident and suave, but he's not witty, sarcastic like Deadpool was, which you can see Ron Reynolds doing, which he played in every other movie he did.
Pretty much everything he does.
He fucking does. So, yeah.
Wait, hold on. Bringing it back a little bit. You said the guy from Low Winter Sun?
Yeah.
Who are you casting him as?
Martian Manhunter.
I think that'd be perfect looking at his picture. His name's Mark Strong for future notice. Mark Strong.
What's such an easy name?
It's pretty simple.
It
sounds like a fake name.
But yeah, looking at him, the ball, like when he rocks the baldy, which is all the time, he'd be perfect.
There he is.
I mean, I think he'd be perfect.
Yeah. Yep.
He'd rock that. Aquaman. We have to cast Aquaman.
Oh, no, never mind. I was literally gonna say Thor.
Thor as Aquaman.
Here's the guy who plays Thor. We get his little brother.
Just take the hammer out of his hand. Put a trident.
Whoever played Kirk.
Vinny Chase.
Captain Kirk.
Chris Pine?
Yeah, him.
Nah. He'd have to be...
Vinny Chase is good. Adrian... No, not Adrian. No, it is Adrian.
Yeah.
Adrian something from Entourage.
Since he played him in Entourage.
What? That's what?
He played Aquaman in Entourage.
Yeah?
That's right.
That's why I said
that would be fucking meta right there.
Ultra meta. Yeah. I picture Aquaman as kind of more of a slender dude.
Really? I see him as huge.
But I see him as being like athletic, but slender because he needs to be able to like swim quickly and he's not like extra buff. I
don't know. Anytime I've seen him in the comics, he looks like fucking like Poseidon.
First of all, every single comic book character is like ripped.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I don't know. I see him as not being like a super heavy dude.
Does he really need to be?
I don't think so. He commands the seas.
Oh, all right. I got your Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Since you said Entourage, Emmanuel Shrieky? Sloane,
right. Yeah. Sloane from Entourage. She's still a little light for me.
I didn't watch Entourage, man. Oh, yeah, I know her.
Sloane.
Totally.
Was that as Wonder Woman?
Yeah, okay, I could see that. She's kind of skinny. I mean, I could see her, bulking up for it. I mean, that's what what's-her-name has to do.
Gal Gadot,
That said that she's been working out for it. I don't know, though. I mean,
her frame, though, is just too delicate
she's
looking.
Way too slender.
That's the thing. Like, she can bulk up as much as she wants, but she's still going to be...
Well, then again, I don't know. I mean, if she bulks up enough, she could... I don't know. I don't think... My problem is, I don't know. On the one hand, I feel like sometimes they take liberties with these characters. Like we talked about the Fantastic Four with Michael B. Jordan cast as
Johnny Storm.
Which I don't have a problem with a black character with them, changing the
I don't think anybody accused you of that, Marco.
No. What I'm saying is, I sound real defensive.
Whoa!
I mean, he black.
Hey.
But what I'm saying is, like, on the one hand, you want to be faithful to the comic book. On the other hand, in the interest of making a better movie, you kind of want them to take liberties with these characters. Yeah. So, like, the girl who they cast as Wonder Woman, I mean, she's Israeli and she has an accent. Like, it's not like she speaks with perfect English. Mm-hmm. So
I got you Green Lantern.
Okay.
Not Green Lantern. I'm sorry. Green Arrow. I got you Green Arrow.
So you would want
Scott Caan.
I like Scott Caan.
Yeah.
Kane.
Yeah.
Kane. Guy's kind of old. He's 37.
Yeah.
He doesn't look 37 though.
No, he kind of looks like he's late 20s.
Were you just on the Entourage IMDb or something? Okay.
And then I just scrolled down, I saw his face, I was like, Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
He could work.
Okay.
He could work.
Anyway, as you were saying,
I mean, it's just it. Where does it end? I guess them taking liberties and you know, I guess we'll have to wait for the finished product on some of this stuff. But it's just like, is it worth it? You know,
right?
At what point is it like, you know, you've strayed too far from the comic book and you've strayed so far that it's not even worth it anymore at this point?
From my point of view, I understand the fact that they need to change things to make for a film. Yeah. You know, like, frankly, that's why there haven't been really good video game movies.
Right.
Because either they stray too far away from the material that, you know, made it a good story to begin with, or they don't realize that that storyline does not work unless you're in control of the character. Right. It's the same thing with a comic book, and the same thing with a book even. You know, literature does not work verbatim onto a screen. Mm-hmm. You know, you have to take liberties to make it a film. A film's its own thing. It's its own art form. So the issue that you run across is when you're taking liberties, you also have to take into the fact that there are decades of story arcs that you can take inspiration from. Yeah. And a lot of times these directors, I feel like they just have too much of, I don't know, too much pride within their own work. And the writers, too, can be accused of this, of just doing whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And saying, you know what, forget about the original material.
Right. I mean, they have so much source material, it's just kind of like, fuck it, let's just do what we want with it. Because, like, you know, like with Batman, with the Dark Knight series, mm-hmm. They used mostly just the graphic novels, which was a good choice. They kept it between like 3 or 4 graphic novels and just pick and chose good stories from those, which mm-hmm. was a good choice. But, you know, if you want to just go with like the straight up, like there has to be like hundreds of Aquaman comics. That's just fucking Aquaman.
Right.
He's going to be like a secondary character. So anything that they could do with it, like...
You could go with whatever, you know, story arcs of Batman you want, but there's other dimensions of Batman. There's actually a comic of Batman versus Superman adventures where Batman gathers all the other Batman from the other dimensions to fight together.
All the Batman.
But that actually would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean...
like Ben Affleck got Christian Bale, fucking Michael Keaton, and that would be pretty cool. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see the 75th anniversary short, Batman Beyond?
I shared that with you.
You did?
Yeah.
Did
I
you
didn't see it. No.
Yeah, you shared it, and
mm-hmm.
then you tagged him in.
Yeah.
Do you guys see that they're making a new movie based off a prequel to Arkham Asylum?
Yes. Yep.
And I'm hoping Kevin Conroy.
Probably. He is.
He is?
Hell yes.
Yep.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Changed my opinion.
Yeah, so...
You kind of weren't excited?
No, I wasn't, because I was like, this is going to be shit. Because I watched Son of Batman and it was garbage.
Did Kevin Conroy voice
No. It was some...
I hate when they just pick some random guy. At least get a guy who sound like the guy who did
nothing. Like his voice wasn't even like low and raspy or like intimidating. It was just like,
where is he?
Yeah, it was just like Robin. It was like Batman. Robin.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God, I'm the world's greatest detective.
God, that's funny.
Fuck, that sucks, man. How'd you watch it? Did you just download it? Like, or is
I purchased it legally.
Yeah,
okay, of course, sorry. I didn't download it.
For free.
Incriminate anybody here.
Right. Bring it back to the director of Superman versus Batman, or Batman versus Superman, however they're going to go.
Schneider.
Mr. Schneider.
Is it just supposed to be a Superman sequel?
Yes.
Well, I think that's the biggest problem. Is it was supposed to just be a Superman sequel,
right?
And
it was a Superman sequel. Then it became Batman vs Superman.
Right.
Then it's becoming Justice League.
Right. Because at first it was like, they said, okay, Batman's gonna be in it. Oh, that's awesome. Is he gonna like be like a guest star?
No, he's just gonna have a cameo.
Right. Then it was a cameo. Then it was like, nah, he's gonna have a pretty significant role in this
mm-hmm.
movie. And then it's like, and then we casted Wonder Woman. It's like, well, wait, what are you doing? Can we talk about like what the movie's actually about? Don't worry about that. We're just gonna keep flooding it with characters.
It's clearly seeming bloated, but for all we know, it's gonna come out and it will just be a few cameos that won't mess up this overall story.
But I mean, how many cameos can you shove into a movie?
Ask Will Ferrell.
Yeah, that's true. He'll know.
That's right.
What else?
That Anchorman ending was awesome.
Like, okay, this kind of harkens back to Spider-Man. Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
Way too many villains.
Mhm.
I mean, that wasn't the only thing that made that movie bad, but it definitely contributed to why that movie was bad.
Right.
It was just too much.
Emo
There's
Peter
too much
Parker.
going on. Yeah, and that's what I heard is what happened with the Amazing Spider-Man Part 2. Just too much. Just too much.
I've heard
going
that
on.
too. I've heard that
We
too.
haven't watched it yet, but from what I've read, just too many villains. It's just too much. There's 3 villains in the movie. It's too much going on.
It's because all these Hollywood movies are jumping the shark and trying to make an Avengers duplicate of their
Trying
series.
so hard.
Stop.
And it's like, they don't give each character the time that they deserve, and that's the problem. If you want to have all these characters in the movie, that's one thing, but give them all the time that they deserve. Like for Spider-Man, for instance, you've got the Green Goblin, which they've been setting that up for all 3 movies, so that's one thing. That they finally delivered on that. I'll give them that. Then you get Venom. CGI Venom looked incredible. I thought it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But to cast fucking Topher Grace, I mean, it was one of the worst choices I've ever seen.
What they need to do if they want to do that is exactly what Marvel did. They didn't just go, "Hey, here's an Avengers movie." They set it up. There were multiple movies over years.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man, you can't just go, "Well, here's the Sinister Six, and he's gonna fight him."
Exactly.
Because it wasn't just Spider-Man and like the animated series. Like he had Black Cat, he had the Oracle,
Blade.
He had Blade in one episode.
Blade.
He had Wolverine and the X-Men in some episodes.
So that's what I'm saying. Like the Avengers, they didn't just fucking pick people. Every one of them. They had to. How many times have they recast fucking Hulk to finally find like the guy that they believe in enough to go forward with him?
He didn't even get his own.
He still hasn't. I don't know if he's
I hope they don't. I hope they learn like Hulk movies don't work.
I don't think they're gonna do it again. Honestly.
I don't know. I don't really see the demand in a Hulk movie,
There's
how many Hulk movies do we have?
Excluding like the 80s one.
Well, there's
2.
There's
Edward
Hulk
Norton.
and then the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
There's Edward
Hulk,
Norton Hulk. And
the
then
Ang Lee
there's
one.
Ang Lee,
Eric
yeah.
Bana.
Yeah, that's right.
That one was.
We don't really need more. They weren't
guess.
good Hulks, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends. No, the Incredible Hulk was pretty good.
The latest one I felt was
it wasn't
a decent movie.
It definitely wasn't a bad movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be.
Is Edward Norton just good at playing characters who have different personalities?
Yes.
Probably. It might be part of it, yeah. Honestly. But, okay, all that aside, like, I agree with you guys. It seems like they're going to end up doing the Spider-Man 3 type thing of having it just overly bloated.
My point is if each character gets its own screen time, if they dedicate quality to each character, it'll work. If not, it's going to fall on its face.
There's not enough time. There's not enough time to do it. It might work in a mini-series or something like that, but it's not going to work in a 2-hour movie.
To have been done, and Spider-Man 1 needed to introduce other characters on like their hero side.
Well, I'm talking about Superman, but yeah, same thing with that.
And same thing with Superman.
Right.
So far, it's only Superman in that DC universe, and then they're just gonna bombard with Cyborg, Wonder Woman,
right,
Batman.
And I mean, the story's been told about Spider-Man 3. What happened with that? It wasn't even their intention to do that. It was a studio that came in and said, people want Venom. You're gonna have to put Venom in this movie, or else you're not gonna be able to make it. So he wanted Sandman in that movie, and that's the only main villain he wanted in that movie. But they said, nope, you're gonna have to make this movie whether you like it or not with Venom, because people want to see Venom in a movie, and that's what happened.
Then he should have took Sandman out.
And I mean, by the end of
conveyed more emotion.
Oh, we're completely forgetting about Bryan Cranston.
What?
In Superman vs. Batman. Lex Luthor.
He's not.
He's not. He's not in there.
No.
What the hell did I hear about that?
We talked about that before.
Yeah.
Did we just cast that? I think we just cast it.
Yeah.
No.
He's not. No, he's not Luthor. What's his name from Social Network is?
Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes.
Yeah, him.
Jesse Eisenberg.
That guy. Nailed it.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg is
Mark
Lex
Zuckerberg's
Luthor.
going to be acting now. Duh.
He bought the movie.
No, that's right. That's right. Because it was just a strange choice.
Right.
Because I guess they're going with like a young maniacal
kid genius type thing.
Sure.
Anyway,
he starts Facebook.
Yeah, that's how it starts.
Yeah.
Anyway, my main point was that it's not only the bloating of the casting that we've seen so far, but the fact that given Zack Snyder's track record, it's obvious that the guy just can't write an original screenplay. Frankly, because Zack Snyder cannot write an original screenplay. You see it in Sucker Punch, which was his only original work, mind you,
garbage,
which was his worst movie to me personally, and I think a lot of people agree with that.
It was just so strange.
It never came together.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, where's this going? And then it was over.
No, it was about a girl getting a lobotomy.
Yeah, I got that, but it was just like, what was the point of all this shit?
There was.
Were we supposed to be like thrilled by it, and then at the end go, oh man, she was all fucked up, and they just fucked her brain up.
It was all in her head.
Like, no, because I hate that cop out of like weird, crazy stuff.
Which
happening,
just goes to Adam's point that he can't write.
Right. Yep.
That's what I'm saying. So, given that, I think he's going to have to be either highly derivative of the original works, which may work out for him because it did for 300. You know, that worked out. That's probably my favorite movie that he's ever done. Is 300.
Yeah.
Watchmen?
No, not Watchmen. I thought like Watchmen was good. I thought Watchmen was good, but I don't think it's his best.
300 is better.
Yeah. So
I have to watch him again.
But
it's just more enjoyable.
I mean, the intro in Watchmen was awesome.
It was great,
and he's good at that visual thing,
and just beating the fuck out of each other.
Right, but mind you, that's a vignette. That's not an entire movie. Like he didn't sustain that through the entire movie. It was good. He
knows what he's doing visually.
Right.
That intro, like you said, was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nobody's done that before, but nobody wasted the time with that either. Because like we're talking about the intro of the movie. We're not talking about the movie itself.
Right.
You know,
it was a cool scene in a longer, bigger, I feel a little bit overly bloated movie that didn't end as well as I wanted it to.
Yeah.
But I mean, given the source material, I feel like he did a good job. My point is, I think that he has to be derivative of the Superman, Batman type of interactions in the comics in order to make a stronger movie, because he can't do it on his own. And I don't know if he's going to be able to do it because he has so many of these extra characters that I don't feel is going to make a strong story. So
yeah, I feel like, you know, they're just pulling characters that they know are fan favorites at this point, you know, and I just feel like he's just trying to go for, you know, a big summer blockbuster.
And he's going to get it too. Yeah, it's going to be a successful movie, I guarantee.
Yeah, I will say this. I mean, fucking Zack Snyder, man, for all this, you know, stuff that we're laying at him, he makes big, dumb blockbuster movies that, you know, they're huge. People go see them.
I mean, yeah. I mean, why else would you want to go to the movies? You don't want to go and see a movie that you have to think about. You just want to sit there and go, wow, this is pretty.
He makes those movies. So there you go.
He makes generally exciting movies. So
yeah,
right. But I mean, it's not going to wow any critic or anybody who watches the movie and sees.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't give a shit about that. You know. Because if he did, he'd make better money. You know, I mean, they're fucking throwing him all kinds of money to make these movies, and he, you know, movie after movie, it's just like the same fucking, you know, light show.
Right.
So
he ain't Nolan, I'll tell you that.
He ain't no Nolan, boy. Tell you that much right there. But I will say this. I'm still gonna go see it.
Yeah, I will too. Yeah,
so I'll give you that, Mr. Snyder.
For all the stuff that we're talking right now, it could turn out to be a great movie. We don't know yet. We really don't know.
Just judging from his track record, I feel like we know what we're gonna see. But you're right, we don't know yet. He could flip it.
Give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll see.
I don't think he deserves that, but we'll still go see it. But yeah, so. I guess we'll reserve judgment, sort of, until we see it. I mean, we spent an hour judging it, but we'll reserve the rest of our judgment until we see the movie. So, by the time we record another episode in a couple weeks,
probably another character will get
So we're going to be talking about the Justice League movie pretty soon. All right. Well, I guess that's it for us here at the One Beer In podcast. My name is Mr. Dupa.
I am Obesius.
I'm Dave.
And thank you guys for listening. Catch us at One Beer In on the YouTubes, on the Facebooks, all the other social
all them
networks.
social networks.
I am at DupaGetButt on Instagram. That's DupaGetButt, all one word. And Marco Dupa on everything else.
I'm at Obesius.
I'm looking at cat gifs. Look at that. He's climbing a wall. Look at him.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.